I've been wrestling since I was 6. You get yourself better. When you win, it's you. When you lose, it's you.
As an orthopedic surgeon and one that's trained in sports medicine, we're winning or we're not winning. And if we're not winning, then we have to remove any muscle that doesn't look viable, meaning that it's not going to live. That was the part that was really hard for me, was telling a otherwise really healthy kid who was a all-state football state champion wrestler that this is a life-altering thing to radically take out dead muscle.
Going to sleep that day into the hospital, I remember just praying. I was like, I just want to be safe, but please no. Like, I want to keep wrestling. I want to keep walking. It's super challenging. Being in this room with these dudes, it's so tough, but I love being able to just pick a new guy every day that was multiple time state champ and best in the country, so it's really cool to be around these guys. I wasn't planning on wrestling in college. I wanted to play football, but after state my senior year, I got a call from Dresser and came on a visit and loved it. So ever since then, I fell in love with Iowa State and Iowa, and I just really happy I came here. Really started to connect with my coaches. Really felt like I was starting to stand out. And then I noticed my leg was starting to hurt. They were both swelling. I had 104 fever. I hadn't felt that sick in a long time. Our trainer, Tim Weezer, looked at my knee and it was super red, super swollen. And that's when I first met Dr. Wormy.
To me, it looked like an infection of this sac in front of the kneecap called the bursa. We call it prepatella bursitis or infection. Part of the diagnostic challenge initially was that his knee didn't really bother him, but he was really sick, and it was sort of an infection of unknown origin.
He immediately just started talking about having to drain it, and he right away even told me about possible surgery then. And for me, I was like shocked. I was like, I just had a fever last night, and now I'm maybe getting surgery. Like, I'm supposed to wrestle next week in the US Open in Las Vegas, so.
I took him to the OR on a Sunday, opened up that area in the front of the knee, and there was an abscess, and we got purulent or pus material out. The culture report from the ER the day before, when we tried to get some fluid out of that area, was actually streptococcus or strep, the same bug that causes strep throat.
So after that first surgery, they cleaned it out, and they said the antibiotics started to kill the bacteria, but it said as it killed it, it released toxin up into my quad.
And so then it was starting to be a little bit concerning to me, because this particular organism that causes strep throat is a really dangerous one when it's in soft tissues, and particularly in areas that have what we call fascia, which is the body's material that envelops the muscle compartments.
In that first week, I'm pretty sure I had 3 more surgeries. They had seen my muscle was starting to turn purple. And I remember Dr. Wormy telling me, he was like, red is healthy, black is dead, yours is purple. So he went in telling me that day, he's like, I am going to go open up and look at your muscle. If it's dead, I have to take it out.
I'm really wired mentally to fix things and get people back on the mat in this case. And this was, the exact opposite of this. This is where I was having to make decisions to cut out muscle and fascia in order to save the kid's leg. This is, life hitting Cole like a semi truck in the face and being like, this is not what anybody wanted. But this is very serious and it potentially life altering.
If I lose my leg, I don't know if I won't be able to wrestle again. I won't be able to run, walk. I was even thinking about coach my kids someday. That would be super hard.
The other thing that we incorporated at that point was HBO therapy. HBO is an acronym for hyperbaric oxygen. What that means is that the oxygen is under a lot of pressure, so it's a higher oxygen environment and higher tension of oxygen that Cole would go into a tank basically and breathe in this really heavy tensioned oxygen, and oxygen is toxic to this bacteria, and it's really good for wound healing.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in there. 6 treatments, 3 hours, just watched movies, but the people in the wound clinic were so nice. They're so sweet. I always looked forward to going back there during the summer to get my recovery care and my new dressings.
It wasn't until about that 4th surgery where we're like starting to feel better that we were not only we were gonna, save his leg, but that, he wasn't at risk of something worse than that.
By like the 4th surgery, I had 3 giant pumps and sponges everywhere, and my leg literally looked like a cow with like black spots. It was crazy, but at least my leg was there. It was just a little cut open.
We did take a little bit of muscle. I also sent biopsies to the lab, and they could look at under lab and tell us. And when we did that, they said it was just myositis with muscle inflammation, but they never said that this was dead.
I felt so cared for and protected, of course, by everyone from the hospital, all my nurses, doctors, but also the people from Iowa State Athletics, and then also people in my faith community. I never felt alone at any point.
I got a lot of help from general surgery with Dr. Schlicker and Dr. Sachs, got help from the wound clinic, got help from infectious disease with Dr. Fulton. Just had to have a lot of minds thinking about this, and I wasn't in control of the situation. We really had to rely on the hyperbaric oxygen, the antibiotics, the wisdom of other surgeons to look at things, and just, really do everything we could and hope that it worked.
I feel amazing. I got cleared last week. I had my first practice yesterday and felt totally fine. Every day, someone sees if I'm wearing like some shorts that come up a little bit, people will look over. I notice people looking at it, and then I kind of like when people ask me about it. I'll just tell them I got a crazy infection. Pretty rare though, so you don't have to worry about it.